I think we all agree that Brent Key is doing an outstanding job at Georgia Tech in 1.5 seasons. But consider this. If Mario Cristobal would have done the correct thing, knelt the ball down, run out the clock, then Georgia Tech would have only won 5 regular season games. They would have not gone to a bowl game and had a chance to finish at 7-6, which looks like a successful season compared to what Georgia Tech football has been in recent years. 5-7, 7-6. It made a world of difference. So with a little luck, a little momentum, a little hard work and development, Brent Key has Georgia Tech positioned for 2024. Let's look at the schedule coming up. Starts out with a difficult one against Florida State in a very unfamiliar place. Dublin, Ireland. Yes, August 24th against Florida State. FSU leads the all-time series, but only 15-11. You could probably win some bets asking what the all-time series is between Florida State and Georgia Tech. However, since 1992, it's 15-4 Florida State. Haynes King back at quarterback, 27 touchdown passes for the Jackets taking on the Seminoles. All right, let's go to Georgia State as game number 2 on August 31st in Atlanta. The two schools, despite being in the same state, meeting for the first time in history. Georgia State coming off a 7-6 campaign. Then Georgia Tech gets back into ACC play, heading to the Carrier Dome on September 7th. The Cuse coming off a 6-7 season, and Georgia Tech will not be facing Dino Babers, who was fired after the 23 season. It's Fran Brown heading up the Cuse with Kyle McCord at quarterback. Georgia Tech leads the all-time series. These two teams have only played 5 times. Tech leads 4-1. Then it's back to Atlanta for a matchup against VMI on September 14th. Then back in the ACC to take on Louisville on the road. It was quite a game as Georgia Tech gave Louisville a tussle in the fourth quarter, 39-34 last season. Georgia Tech leads the all-time series 2-1. Cardinals 10-4 last season made it to the ACC championship game. The first bye week is followed by a game against Duke. Of course, it's Manny Diaz in place of Mike Elko for the Blue Devils. Georgia Tech leads the all-time series 54-35-1. And that game on October 5th, followed by a trip to North Carolina. Georgia Tech won the game last year in a barn burner, 46-41, and Georgia Tech leads the all-time series against the Heels, 33-21-3. They've won 3 consecutive against Mac Brown, whose team finished at 8-5 last season. No more Drake May at quarterback. It's now the Texas A&M transfer Max Johnson. Notre Dame is the game for Georgia Tech at home in Atlanta on October 19th. Notre Dame leads the all-time series against the Yellow Jackets 30-6. The last time they got together, 55-0 in 2021. Then a date at Virginia Tech. The Hokies bounced back with a postseason appearance last season at 7-6. Brent Key and Brent Pry, the coaches on their respective sidelines trying to build programs in the ACC. Virginia Tech leads the series 11-8. Then another bye week is followed by Miami. Of course, that was the kneel-down game that we referenced. This series all-time is 14-all. The Canes will come in with Cam Ward at quarterback and a 7-6 season. And then a third bye week. Georgia Tech, of course, having played that early game overseas on August 24th and 2 games before September 1st, gets the benefit of a third bye week before their final 2 games. And this is a difficult stretch drive. Thursday night, at home against North Carolina State, Georgia Tech leads the series 20-11. NC State coming off a 9-4 campaign. And then the annual matchup in the Peach State against Georgia. Bulldogs, of course, 13-1, narrowly missed the college football playoffs to defend their 21 and 22 championships. Georgia leads the all-time series 71-41-5, and the Dogs have won 6 straight since Georgia Tech won the first meeting against Kirby Smart. It's a tough schedule for Georgia Tech considering out of conference they always play Georgia. They got Notre Dame as well. And then look at the conference schedule. The only really top team in the ACC that they miss is Clemson. Otherwise, just about every other team that Georgia Tech takes on was down in 2023. Virginia is not on the schedule. Pitt, Wake, and a BC team that was the best of the bunch at 7-6. Also, Georgia Tech, one of the few teams in the ACC not playing any of the newcomers to the conference, Cal, Stanford, or SMU. Brent Key progress doesn't always come step by step by step by step, which would be an 8 or 9 win season this year. That's going to be difficult to achieve in 2024. Get to a bowl game once again, Georgia Tech, and we will call it a success. We will continue our look at ACC schedules right here at the Voice of College Football. Please subscribe. Hit the bell for the notifications to know when we go live, and we will see you soon.